My name is Victoria, and I am working with Blend Me as a consultant, and also I'm head of people for OpenZeppelin, which is a blockchain security company. I've been with them about 2.5 years, and working with Blend to also help, remote companies figure out the best way to operate. I've been working remotely for almost 10 years now. So I was a pre-pandemic remote worker, and a lot has changed since then. My first job, I was a CPA accountant, and I was in that office every day working through dinner and just was kind of like looking at the people around me wondering, hey, are people happy here? Are you guys enjoying this work? We spend so much time here. And the answer was kind of like, oh, enough, happy enough here. And for me, that wasn't going to be my whole life. I was like, I want to feel a lot more purpose in what I'm doing and work with people who are really excited to be there. So I left that and I ended up studying organizational leadership, going back to school for a little bit. And of course, I was like, man, I got to find a job, to get me through school and everything. So ended up applying to work for a entrepreneur. And that was my experience with remote work. There was about a small team of 20 people. And it was amazing. This entrepreneur is all about productivity and leadership and sales. And I really got to experience what it was like to create a culture and putting everything through the lens of, does this help our culture? Is this aligned with our values? Is this aligned with the team and the people that we want to have? And that really set the ground for me for remote work, but also creating places where people are engaged and can really enjoy it and finding the right people as well. So that was my first start. And then from there, I never looked back. I would say one of the most important things as a business owner is really being able to define who are the people that you want inside of the organization. So whether that's, specific attributes or behaviors, like that's such a key piece of creating a culture and creating an organization where people are going to be excited. So that was definitely a lesson that I learned at the beginning, is define that from the start and then incorporate that into your hiring process, so that it's really natural to know, like, okay, does this person, have the hunger that we're looking for around this certain topic? And if not, okay, cool, no worries. Like, they might have the skills, but looking for long-term fit is really about making sure that this person aligns with what you're looking for. So finding people who are aligned is one of the most important things a business owner can do, so that we're not wasting time, right? And then the other one is like setting it up to be flexible and allowing people to have that flexibility, right? Like, that's why we're working remotely. And the struggle there is managing productivity with flexibility, right? And how can we combine that so that people are getting stuff done and we trust them? That's like a big one, because we can't necessarily see them in the workplace. I would say those two were really big, like, how do we balance these things and make sure we get the right people that we can trust, and then create that environment where we're working remotely, but we're getting things done. We're passionate about what we're doing, and we trust each other to be on the journey together. I love creating places where people can truly thrive, right? Like, that's my personal mission. So working fractional as a CFO, I can take my experience with, hey, I've seen this, I've worked as someone who's creating this culture, and help business owners and CEOs to create a culture where their people are enjoying the work that they're doing, they're being productive, and the company is growing because of it. So I love to see that aspect. I also love the relationship aspect, getting to know business owners, the people who are making the teams, because for me, like, that's what the business is. Your employees are the ones who are taking care of your clients. So as a business, if we take care of the people, they'll take care of the clients, and everything goes super smoothly from there. I would say the Tree Collective is one of the first places that I've been where it's not just kind of like, hey, I need some resources. How are you guys managing that? But it's really this collective of, hey, here's a problem we're facing. What approaches would you guys take? And what's your experience been with this? In some of the other groups that I've been a part of, it's way more like, oh, here's some resources that I've dealt with, or here's what I've done, versus really taking the time to understand what's the problem that we're facing, and then hearing it from multiple perspectives so that we can work to find like a solution. So the people in the collective are, remote workers who are from a bunch of different industries. So they bring different perspectives of, hey, this is what we do in our best practice, but the foundation is all the same. So it makes it easy to collaborate, which I really love, versus some of the other groups that are a little more like, well, here's something, good luck, So I really love that aspect of being able, again, to work together because, that's how you come up with the creative solutions that really fit an organization. I would say I am more of the specialized, like, startup people person. I've been one of the first hires at some of these companies that I've worked for, like the first person dedicated to setting up a people function. So that's kind of my specialty for anyone who's working on hiring their first fractional HR person or their first HR hire. I would say that's where I have a very good understanding of what are the starting points of developing a good people program and getting some of the systems and processes in place. Because usually up until that point, either the whole team's been kind of jumping in to help take care of things, or maybe there's been one dedicated person, but that's not their expertise. And my background's in audit. So I would say, like, coming in and saying, okay, here's where you're at, and here's what I recommend based on the essentials for getting a people program in place. I would say that's my area of expertise that I definitely love to do, and love to just like help out and be like, okay, cool. Like, here's where you're at. Here's what you need. Let's do it. I would say, businesses and workplace flexibility, the main junction of that is technology, right? And I feel like remote work is one of those things that's just naturally going to happen as we keep developing technology. And to me, the development of technology is inevitable. And so businesses understanding the flexibility that these tools that are coming out every day, that, with AI that teams are using, how are we going to use that? How can we integrate that into our culture, our workforce, to make sure that one, we're making employees' lives easier, right? Like, I think all of this technology is there to hopefully make our lives easier. So why would we not, create workplaces where we can be more effective, more efficient, and more engaged, right? Like, that's what the technology allows us to do. So it's really important for CEOs to understand that remote work is one of those things that's been a product of the technology development we've had. We have all of these resources, and it's so important that we stay ahead of the curve in business and we keep up with, allowing people to be flexible in their work style so that they can, really give their all to the company while still being able to live their lives, take care of their families, and bring their whole selves to work. Again, I'm just a big believer that the more you can take care of your team members, the better they'll take care of your clients. And I think remote work fits right into that and allows people to be more engaged and more efficient, which really helps businesses thrive.